Hello. Today I'm crafting Awakening Adoration. This is a tea blend I made for myself and some friends quite a few years back. The intentions I put into this blend are awakening channels of self-love and also nourishing the senses and the skin and promoting longevity through really antioxidant rich herbs and also flowers and roots that are nourishing for the whole body but also the mind. The reason it's called Awakening Adoration is because I think of the way things bloom in the morning dew, like roses, and Rhodiola rosea is also something that has a lot of new, everlasting blossom kind of sensation for me. My name means everlasting blossom, so perhaps that comes with some bias, but the idea behind this and the chrysanthemum and the rose and the rooibos, they come together to nourish the body and also open the senses and help us to be a bit more like uplifted and aware and full of joy and adoration for yourself, but also adoration for others. It's also quite voluptuous because it has a lot of Damiana leaf in there, which is a really pretty famous aphrodisiac and mood booster as well. So here we have a brim of chrysanthemum flowers. I just put the rooibos on top. Red rooibos, or African bush tea, is really full of nourishing antioxidants and polyphenols that are pretty known to be cleansing but also anti-aging. So I'm gonna stir the rooibos in. It's really red in its color and its taste is pretty mellow, neutral, planty. It kind of makes me feel like an ancient tree in a way. And you can see that there is what the rooibos looks like. In here we have some honey fried licorice and also rosebuds, and then I have full cardamom pods in here too. What I'm gonna do towards the end of crafting this tea blend is actually dust it with some cardamom powder. So there's cardamom pods in here, but if you don't do a super hot water extract or longer decoction, the cardamom pods don't get a chance to really open up their flavor. So I'm just gonna take a bit of cardamom powder and kind of dust it over the top, and then I'll stir it in. So that adds the cardamom flavor and also the medicine of cardamom, which is an incredible digestive aid, but also a circulatory aid. Also known for being an aphrodisiac and an enhancer for the senses. So really, why not when it comes to cardamom? It's one of those digestive aids that isn't too spicy and heating. It actually has kind of a cooler carminative action, so it helps to balance out the ginger root in this tea formula as well. So one more thing I'll add to this. Since everything is almost in, I'm gonna add a bit of Rhodiola rosea. So Rhodiola is so lovely. It's a root in a similar category as like a ginseng or eleuthero would be. It has a tonifying effect, meaning that it's an adaptogen, so helps the body cope with stress, adapt to changing environment and changing pressure, including travel and even different relationships, different work environments, hiking, things like that. Helps to oxygenate the body, and it has a claim to fame with it being an aid for adapting to elevation too. So this is great for hikers and campers and things like that. It reduces jet lag as well in terms of promoting recovery too. So I just read some research on Rhodiola about it nourishing the telomeres in the brain, so that kind of shows that it does actually live up to its claim in being anti-aging. So because Rhodiola is not the most delicious taste, I added in last once all the aromatics are in there, and then I know how much Rhodiola I can get away with. So I put as much as I can in here without it just tasting like a big brew of Rhodiola, because it is quite a strong flavor. So I'll put that on top of the cardamom so it can bond with the cardamom and they can hang out together. And then I'll stir it all together. There's also Rhodiola already in here, but I put more Rhodiola on top too, just to add some more tonifying effects. I'm adding a mountain of rose petals on the top because I love to be lavish, first of all, but also because rose opens the heart. It's great for healing grief and also going to places in our spirit that we might be afraid of. I feel like rose has a resonance with healing hesitation and fear, and also like self-doubt and self-destructive thinking patterns. So I love to formulate roses into blends when it's appropriate, and I find many ways where it's appropriate. But rose in this formula really serves for like self-love, self-adoration. So because this isn't super rooty and I don't need to do a decoction with it per se, you could do a decoction to get some more out of the licorice and rhodiola, but a really hot water French press extraction is appropriate too. And I just steep it 2 to 3 times to get all the good juju out of it. So for this size French press, I'm gonna pour boiling water over the top. I'm gonna use about this much herb. So this is about a 1/2 ounce. And I'm gonna put that in the French press, fills the whole bottom layer, and then I'll pour boiling water over the top. So the botanicals don't boil themselves, but I bring the water to a boil and then pour it over the top and let it sit for about 15 minutes. I'll strain it out and feel the love.